is up, guys? Welcome back to Life on the Wrist. Hope you guys are doing well today. We've had some great feedback about the Departures magazines that we've been covering on our channel, and we got 2 new ones. So what we're going to be doing is looking at these magazines with you and looking at the watches that we find in them. So this one we're going to be looking at, this is the Departures, the America issue from October 2020. There's some really cool watches in this one. Sneak peek, there is actually a Cartier on the back of this one. And so I'll go through this magazine, kind of give you some information about what they're actually writing about in this. If you don't know the Departures, they're basically focused on travel, lifestyle, fashion, and obviously watches is a big part of that. And so there are some beautiful watches that they feature in these, and so I'm going to be discussing those. So I will turn this camera around so you can take a look at this issue of the Departures magazine. All right, so this is the Departures magazine from October 2020, the America issue, and the main focus on this has to do with the natural parks in the United States. And I do think that there are some incredible national parks throughout the United States, some better than others. My bias is towards the West Coast. I think they have some really beautiful landscapes there and just incredible rock features that really put a lot of the other natural parks to shame. But I will say that there are some beautiful, some very beautiful and highly rated national parks throughout the United States. And so that's what this magazine focuses on. Of course, like I said, these magazines are really focused on travel, fashion, and design. And so, obviously you've got this Van Cleef advertisement right in the front. But I think the main focus of this magazine has to do with traveling to a lot of these national parks. I don't know if I would be equipping myself in these outfits, but I think they're trying to at least align with some of the things that they're looking for. Got this really beautiful bag from Hermes, but what I really focus on here is the watches. So I'm just going to kind of skip through these advertisements a little bit here. And just keep on going through here. You can see kind of getting that national forest vibe there. The first watch that I saw in this magazine, actually I wanted to stop here and just look at this Giorgio Armani advertisement. I really love Armani. I think they make some really beautiful coats and beautiful menswear products, and I think with this watch I just picture myself wearing a Patek Philippe. If we could just have him roll up his sleeve there, I think he would be wearing a Patek Philippe for sure. So the first watch that is in this magazine is this Blancpain. This is a ladies watch from the women's collection from Blancpain, and as you can see, it's a very simple watch. Time and date functions. It's got these really beautiful set diamonds around the bezel of the watch on this gold bracelet. I actually really like this. A lot of the times when I'm looking at women's collections, I feel that they're a little bit overpowered by diamonds, but I actually think this was fairly well done, fairly understated, and isn't so in your face that you kind of want to move on. As you can see here, there are some diamonds on the hour markers as well, but they're subtle enough so that they don't really interfere with the understatedness of this watch. And so if we continue, we have our normal advertisements like Lexus, and then we start getting into these really beautiful places to travel. So Antarctica being one of them. As we kind of continue, we get another Richard Mille advertisement of the 0701. This time they've actually featuring this all-white version of this watch. I'm not gonna lie, I cannot imagine how much they're actually spending on advertising in these magazines, but I feel like it might be some overkill, because what's incredible is that when you turn the page, you get another Richard Mille advertisement. But anyway, yeah, this is the 0701. We've covered it at length on these this kind of like style of video. I think it's a really beautiful watch. Richard Mille, I think, has really come into their own when it comes to creating watches that are capturing the audience. And you have this daffodil, obviously, to kind of go with the aesthetic. I think if this had a touch of green, it would have been a little bit more apt, but it is what it is. And then again, an advertisement for traveling from California to New York Island, no matter your style, big city scenes, awe-inspiring nature, glam beaches. There's more to discover than ever right here at home. And so travel inspired. This is a shot of Marriott in New York City. We also have this other Richard Mille. This is the RM037 diamond encrusted case with this kind of mushroom formed here. I think the colors actually go very well, especially this bracelet. If you look at the bracelet and the underside of this, I think it's really beautiful. The kind of cream color goes really nicely with the diamonds, so really well put together advertisement. But yeah, definitely take a focus on advertising in this. And again, you can see these beautiful mountain ranges in Wyoming. One of the things I really like about the West is the fact that there's so much wildlife there. As you can see, there's bald eagle here, with another eagle here. I think there's this is a red-shafted flicker. Really beautiful nature that you can see, and it's almost like raw. I think that's something that I've kind of noticed is there's not as much of that nowadays, just as we continue to develop the world. As we continue through here, you can see these are articles about a restaurant in Chicago that's trying to be a little bit more avant-garde with their what they're creating. If you look here, this is actually a dish. I don't know. You'll have to read the article, but I find it quite interesting that they're kind of taking that on. As we continue, this is kind of where we get into some of the national forests. So you can see a national park badge here, and this is how the West is done. And this is where I really enjoyed this article, because they kind of outlined a bunch of really beautiful places to go. One of the places that I wanted to call out is actually Vegas. A lot of people think of the Strip in Vegas as being the main attraction, but there's absolutely beautiful wildlife there as well. And so we continue to go through this magazine. They start telling stories about places that you can actually end up traveling to. What I think is also cool is that it doesn't just focus on the natural landscapes. It also has like the modern flares that are in the Midwest. So you can see some of the very interesting places here that offer some very unique landscapes, unique architecture you can end up going and seeing. And so we stumble upon the next watch here, and that is this Cartier Pasha de Cartier yellow gold. This retails for $16,600. It's a gold watch with a date function at I guess I'll call that 4 o'clock right here. What I did find interesting about this is this has to do with outdoor sports, but this watch is on leather. I feel like there would have been a better watch to kind of feature if they wanted to talk about outdoor sports and Cartier. But nevertheless, it is what it is. Cool watch. Nothing really that speaks to me. I don't think I would really be so ready to buy that for a sister or significant other. I think there's something a little bit more that you can do with your money, but that's just me. As we continue here, where the heart is, this is kind of cherishing the places that you that have significance to you. This was a really interesting article because I think during these times we're definitely in a different place than we were a while back, and so there are places that I think people are trying to cherish. Really great article, but I'm not going to kind of go through it. I will give a shout out to Georgia. You'll know if you know. If we kind of continue through here, we can see a lot of advertisements, and like you can see some things on their wrist, but I couldn't really make them out. This one right here, I would totally get like that that RM Tutti Frutti RM. That's what I would have on this person's wrist, for sure. As we kind of continue through here, more articles just about interesting lifestyles. I think they've done some really interesting pieces here. I really like this section. This is like a really cool aesthetic, I think. You know, you've got these very rugged homes, I would describe them as, but when you go inside, you've got these very modern aesthetics, especially with the artwork on the walls. This is actually a museum. This is the Harwood Museum of Art, and so really cool kind of pottery is available in this, and it's a nice place to go. This is all this is in Santa Fe, but this was actually located in New Mexico. This is the kind of going through the state, but you can just look. I mean, look at this beautiful art, this beautiful nature here. It's definitely unique and not something you see on the East Coast. As we continue through here, we put some more advertisements, some different styles in black and white. Very few watches on people's wrists. And then this article, I actually haven't gotten a chance to read this one yet, so don't have too much to talk about here. And as we go through here, we've got some more kind of lifestyle things here. This reminds me of that New Mexico article for sure. And then this is an article about a cross-country drive that went from Florida to California, and they kind of went through a lot of the culinary differences that you can get throughout the country, essentially. And so you can see kind of a map here: Georgia, Arkansas, Kansas, kind of different things that you would experience. Getting into the chili area in New Mexico. Boulder's, I think, very known for their beers. And you kind of continue, and then we get into some more advertisements, but really beautiful look here of places that you can travel to. And that kind of wraps this magazine up, but I will also just show the back, because there is this really interesting Cartier with this leopard on it. Definitely a fashion piece, definitely a fashion piece, something that's a little bit more fashion focused, but definitely is quite out there. But a really cool issue, and I think this really puts into perspective the types of things you can see in the United States. But it also made me really sad because of, right now there isn't really much possibility to go and travel and see these different places, just because of what's going on in the world. So it was tough to read this, but at the same time, it's some really beautiful watches. I'll flip it over so we can close this video. Cool, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. We did have some of the normal watches that were found in these magazines, like the Richard Mille, but there were some other unique ones. I think it's really cool to see something like this Cartier on the back that you probably won't be seeing very, very often. It's a relatively expensive Cartier, but definitely fashion focused, and it's nice to see that that's kind of making the covers of these issues. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Departures magazine. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you like these types of videos, and don't forget to smash that like button for us. It really does help us out. And with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.